All right, so we got a match here coming up for the 2020 Dominion Championships between crabcat2 and LimeTime. I believe their seeds going into this are LimeTime at 21st and crabcat at 44th. This being the round of 64. And we got jonts here co-commentating. Just waiting for LimeTime to show up.
Yeah, so round of 64 is, I think, when we start getting to see a lot of pretty high-quality matches. All of those, 60-plus seeds or 60 minus. I'm not sure what direction plus goes, but all of the fairly top seeds.
Yeah, I think probably everyone in the 64th seed and up is easily in the 60s. And if you got here despite not being in the 60th seed or higher, then you must have upset someone at that rank.
Both players sitting in tables. Are we in the wrong... Oh, did LimeTime make a different table?
I'm going to say LimeTime's the one on the wrong table, because crabcat's table has definitely been up longer.
It's true. Well, we can wait a minute longer here for somebody to figure out where to go.
There we go.
Currently, Spec Chat is on. All right.
First one to 3.5 games wins. So kind of functionally best of 7.
Yep, should be alternating starts, and then
Game 7 being random if they make it that far.
Yes, that's how I was trying to remember how Game 7 worked. But yeah, Game 7 will be random start player, with player 2 winning that tie, I believe.
I would rather not play with my banned cards.
Which means you want to play with ban list on, right?
Yeah, that is a counterintuitive way to phrase that, but I think that's what they're saying.
Yeah, I believe that's what's meant there. Yeah, there's a reason the ban list exists, and because some cards are not fun to play with.
I am so happy the ban list exists, honestly. I remember it was announced a year before it got rolled out, and I was just... knowing that it was a possibility and then didn't exist yet, I remember being so frustrated every time Swindler showed up on a kingdom. I was like, this doesn't have to be.
The problem is the ban list needs to be 3 times as big.
I would also be very happy with that. Just came up in discussion today. I respect the people who want to ban just cards that are weak and therefore boring. And I would do that if I had the room, but there's just enough cards that bug me that I don't have space in my ban list for the weak cards.
It's quite true. All right, we have stuff going on here.
This is interesting. So, plus action is a bit hard to come by. Nobles is a very expensive necropolis if you're using it for that.
Well, it's less expensive because of Way the Rat.
Yeah, and also Lurker. So, I mean, you might end up getting it for that purpose anyway.
Lurker is a bit slow, but yeah, I guess everything.
Or Mint. Can't trash estates by any means that I can see, and you can't trash curses unless your opponent's Old Witch is nice enough to help you out.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Old Witch looks very strong here. I would probably want to open something that gets me Old Witch fast, I would think.
Yeah, I would think the things that I'm thinking between are double silver, silver dungeon, silver scavenger. Maybe even storm could be a thing. Looks like Crabcat's going for the scavenger line. Oh, they're going for scavenger dungeon.
Yeah, scavenger looks fine. The problem with scavenger is the lack of actions does make it a little awkward once you do get your Old Witch in play.
They got a really nice draw here for it. This is ideal scenario for scavenger is seeing it turn 3 and hitting 5. You get to discard your whole deck. And then you'll have a 1-card deck going to turn 4 and a very high likelihood of seeing your Old Witch soon.
Well, you get top in that dungeon. Yeah, that's a very good draw for Crabcat. LimeTime, I would assume, just opens Old Witch.
Yeah.
You could consider a Sculptor open, which isn't terrible. But I do prefer the Old Witch, and drawing Old Witch turn 3 for LimeTime is quite good.
Yeah,
So
they
both
both
have
had
like
very fortunate turn 3 draws.
pretty good turns, yeah. This should be a clear Old Witch from crabcat, I think.
Agreed.
So that's. I mean, you could do a second Old Witch. It's a little spicy taking 2 Old Witches. I think I prefer the Sculptor.
Yeah, Sculptor seems solid.
Mint right now, maybe it's a little premature for Mint in this situation. I would definitely Bonfires LimeTime. I think getting rid of some coppers is pretty solid on this board.
I think in that scenario, part of the problem of Mint is it was only trashing 3 coppers, which is kind of functionally reducing your deck's junk by 2, in which case you might as well just Bonfire.
Yeah, you probably want like at least, well, you want a good number of
like, here's a scenario where I would seriously consider Mint.
Do you trash the silver? Probably not.
I would think. Probably not.
All right, well, this board's going to get gross. They might eventually be able to clean up a little bit. That's interesting. I don't like it.
I think it makes some sense. They're about to trigger a shuffle that didn't have their Old Witch in it. So this doesn't necessarily like reduce the number of Old Witch plays they're going to get in, because...
Well,
I mean, now it does because they bottom decked both of them. But like, there's a very real scenario where they could have top decked at least one of the Old Witches in their deck, and then they would have played an Old Witch the next turn.
Possibly. There are terminal collision issues with having this many terminals. I mean, I imagine LimeTime just sculpts a silver and takes a Bonfire here, which lets you solve the terminal collision issue for next turn, at least.
Yeah,
but there's still the issue kind of around there somewhere. So this is quite, well, I guess LimeTime gets to trash a curse here, which is pretty important, getting your curses thinned.
Agreed.
To have like any sort of functional engine here. That's interesting order. I guess it makes some sense. Does it? No, it doesn't. Why? Well,
looking at this hand, it's not looking like it made a lot of sense. I guess.
Yeah, silver's a pretty good card, is the thing.
And villagers are a pretty good, I don't know what you call them, thing.
Village.
Token? Is that...
I would imagine we don't want a lurker here.
I would think you do want a lurker.
Interesting.
Just like, if uncontested, it's gonna net you like at least a free nobles at the bare minimum. And if contested, well, then your opponent's in the same spot you are of having a lurker in their deck.
Yeah, I suppose. It might just come down to who's in a better position to take noble or to take lurkers.
I mean, what's the argument against it?
It's a stop card that does nothing the turn you draw it.
That's fair. Yeah, I think I'd be willing to take a card that's just like a delayed nobles gainer, though. And then, like, if you end up trashing these coppers, which is not unlikely, gaining Royal Blacksmith would not be bad later in the game.
Yeah, crabcat chose to play Scavenger over gaining a Silver and Villager, and I definitely want some Villagers in this deck because at this stage, at least, you're definitely pretty prone to missing like villages with your draw cards. So having a Villager stockpile is pretty nice. This could be a Bonfire and trash like Copper Silver. So you discard Silver, trash Copper Silver with Bonfire.
You want to reduce the number of silvers in the deck?
I think so. I mean, I'm looking to try to... Because you're going to be gaining a lot of silvers off of these Sculptor plays just for the Villager effect. And I just don't know how many your deck can sustain.
Yeah, I'm somewhat ambivalent on the silvers. I mean, on the one hand, your deck isn't like so strong that you don't want to have just like a decent treasure payload. On the other hand, you might just want the option to keep taking silvers with Sculptor for the villagers in the right situation.
Yeah, I think the treasure payload is easy enough to regain, right? You just play Sculptor for silvers. In the meantime, I want to be playing Old Witch until these curses are gone as much as possible.
Dungeon also seems pretty good here, given the relative lack of reliability. I think you probably each want 2 dungeons.
Yeah, Dungeon seems like a pretty solid card here. It's just a very awkward board. Everything about his is awkward.
Agreed. I think this is kind of my least favorite type of kingdom. Is the one that's like kind of engineered, where to the point that you have to do it, but then also kind of weak and unreliable.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst kind of board like that, but it's definitely not super good.
Yeah.
All right, so that it's a little awkward of a draw for Crabcat. We'll see if this dungeon picks up anything. It
Seems all
does
right to
not.
me. You just rat the
Let's just
nobles.
rat it. Yeah, it's fine. It's not that bad. We're going to get a curse trash in and another curse handed out, and curses are going to be gone any second now. Or presumably Crabcat trains the curses.
Let's see, where do we stand on nobles? Looks like Crabcat has 4 to LimeTime's 2.
That's a pretty good position to be in going into the endgame here.
I agree with that.
Crabcat looks to be in pretty solid shape given this turn right here. Presumably we...
I think you would draw with the Old Witch.
Yeah, I think you'd clearly draw the Old Witch. I guess he's thinking about ratting the nobles, but I think there's a really good chance you can just buy nobles if you play it for actions and then play Old Witch.
I mean, I think Crabcat's deck is strong enough where, with a theoretical draw, they could even get both of those nobles.
No, gaining Wishmail first is okay, I guess.
I
don't know. Getting silver is also just completely fine. Possibly preferable.
This is not the play I expected to happen. I'll say that.
Yeah, I was just thinking you draw Old Witch there and then figure out what you want to do with the rest of your cards.
Agreed.
Yeah, silver's good for spiking price points, getting villagers. This is a little bit sad for Crabcat because he can't get the nobles with rats. It's not a very good draw right there.
Yeah, this is very unfortunate on both their parts. LimeTime misses 5, and then Crabcat just misses anything.
Yeah.
And
so
without even a dungeon in play, like a dungeon would really salvage this turn.
So there's only 3 curses in the trash. He just draws. I mean, I don't know what you pick here. I guess you pick nothing. I still don't think Lurker is better than like buy nothing there. Oh, this is going to be very nice for Crabcat.
I was actually about to say that's a terrible hand, but you're right. That is.
Yeah, Wishing Well was not
is pretty good.
Very exciting. I mean, when LimeTime about to play 2 Old Witches, you really don't mind having 2 curses in hand.
At this point, Lurker definitely does seem worse than nothing, because there's no way you get to draw back around to it and use it on nobles before your opponent nabs the last one.
I assume we play Nobles Old Witch here, and then you play Dungeon into the shuffle.
Yeah, that sounds right. It in general, of course, makes sense to play the dungeon after triggering a shuffle rather than before, so the bad cards you're discarding are not going back into the shuffle you're just about to draw into.
Yeah. I guess my thought is that he's pretty likely to... Well, can he do better than just Nobles by just routing the Nobles? That's actually not clear to me. Because you play Nobles for actions, Old Witch for draw, Dungeon for whatever Dungeon does. You're pretty likely to hit 6, aren't you? I'm not actually sure what the last 3 cards. That probably makes a difference. I don't know what they are.
I think, well, I mean, LimeTime only has, 2 nobles right now?
That's true. LimeTime only has 2 nobles. Yeah, maybe it makes sense not to trigger this shuffle then.
It might actually be sensible just to play the dungeon and then play the nobles.
That's really bad, right? What is happening? Why do we... Huh?
I guess if you put both of your dungeons in play, then it ends up not mattering that you've triggered this shuffle.
I'm a bit confused by exactly what just happened here. Did he just waste a villager?
So
Maybe
Lime
not.
Time... Oh, wait, now I'm really confused by this.
Yeah, I am too.
I thought the idea was they're playing the Old Witch without playing the Nobles because they plan to wrap the Nobles after that.
Yeah,
and like buy
I'm
gold
confused
or
by that
something.
order. It's just not the order I thought things would happen in. So I'm not sure if it's better than...
They got themselves 2 villagers. And they got the Nobles in the end. So I think it'll turn out okay.
Sure. We'll see how this hand draws. So this draws, I mean, you could play on here if you want to. I might... Sculpting a dungeon here is not unreasonable, I think. But also just provincing is fine.
Yeah. I think we're definitely at the point in the game where you're just looking to province whenever you can.
Yeah, I felt pretty good about LimeTime like a turn ago, but I feel... Oh, sorry, I felt pretty good at crabcat a turn ago, but now LimeTime does look ahead.
It's not obvious to me. Because I mean, if this continues on with like province, crabcat will win. They have won the noble split.
LimeTime's in a much better position to draw with 3 villagers, though. The 3 villagers seems to be pretty massive to me.
Yeah, 3 villagers is massive. 2 nobles is also pretty good. Well, LimeTime does have the 2 old witches to crabcat's 1.
Yeah, well, crabcat does have like the 5 noble. Yeah, I don't know. Crabcat does get to store a villager this turn.
Yeah,
I would
definitely.
imagine
I would not draw in here. I would just take the
take a province and a villager. Yeah.
I like suggesting in chat to top deck the curse. It might be a little risky, but
that's well. Is there?
You played a dungeon, so like if it doesn't get trashed, you can just discard it. And
Yeah,
you're still fine.
I think that's probably fine. Like, no, what else you can top deck? Oh, that's garbage. I guess Wishing Well is the only reasonable pick there, but eh. The idea of trashing a curse certainly seems reasonable. So I guess we don't bother wasting a villager if we don't have to here. We could...
What is the rationale for top decking Wishing Well?
It draws, I guess. So, well, occasionally we'll draw. It draws like a third of a card.
I feel like it's basically a cantrip, and if I have a dungeon coming in, putting cantrips on top just sort of reduces my ability to make an intelligent decision about what I want to discard of the dungeon.
Yeah. So LimeTime gets another province here. I mean, I think this discard here is pretty obvious. This one is less obvious. But I suppose we're tossing Wishing Well.
That seems most likely to me. This still looks alright for crabcat if they can keep up provincing. Although the turn after this one might be a little bit troublesome if they have no dungeons coming in.
You can always sculpt a dungeon if you really need one.
If they hit 8 naturally, they might end up needing to use that sculptor for a silver.
Well, they hit 8 here, so I guess we just play Scavenger and then Sculptor for silver and top deck an Old Witch or something, and bank another villager. I mean, bank a villager by province seems pretty solid to me.
Yeah.
Dungeon? I don't
think this is as good. You can guarantee you have an extra villager and an Old Witch top decked. I think that does more for your reliability than a dungeon does, because that's just going to draw you 2 cards a dungeon would have.
Yeah, I quite like the extra villager in a game like this. But maybe it's fine.
I mean, this is all right as well. I don't think it's like a bad line, but I think it is inferior to the alternative.
So this curse does not get trashed. Yeah, these Wishing Wells are pretty rough on a board like this. Like, what are we wishing for? Just wishing for silver?
My instinct would be to click silver here.
Wish for more silvers? No, we missed twice. Cool cantrips.
I
Yeah.
think they'll probably hit 8 here.
Ugh, probably, but this is pretty sad. All right, that's hit 8. Hitting 8 there is like really helpful. Missing 8 there would have been kind of disastrous.
Yes.
So what does LimeTime even do? Like, can LimeTime afford to not province here?
If you're behind by more than 3, I don't even see the point in attempting to Dutchy dance. I would think that you
there's some like curse shenanigans with Old Witch plays, but that's the only like possible out if you Dutchy dance.
Let's see. So crabcat got 6 of the curses. Has trashed 4 of them. LimeTime's trashed 2, so they both have 2 curses left. So it's not even obvious that like if you prolong the game, you're more likely to get more of your curses trashed than your opponent. If anything, the reverse, because LimeTime is playing Old Witches more frequently than crabcat is.
Oh, this is interesting play right here. I guess we do have the ability to get a second gain. Is that Province Duchy? That's not even good. Is Double Duchy fine? I guess Double Duchy? It's not clear to me that this line is better chances of winning than just provincing and hoping that crabcat can't province. Because you burned all your villagers to do that. And having no villagers is potentially quite rough.
It doesn't seem like they can reasonably do that again.
But of course, as crabcat, I suppose you're not taking... I don't see any reason to take province as crabcat here, so I assume we're just aiming to take a duchy.
Yeah, so now we take a few more duchies. As crabcat, you might now be looking to double duchy, because I think that puts LimeTime in an awkward position.
How does crabcat even double duchy, given...
Sculptor for storeroom?
Yeah, but you have no... Like, your villager situation's really rough.
That's true. Yeah, they've just used all their nobles now, so they can't hit it here. They could... Yeah, they wouldn't even come close to hitting 10.
I guess maybe you could if you nobles for action, sculptor for storeroom discards. No, never mind. That's not going to hit it.
Yeah, you get like 6.
Yeah,
maybe 8 if you drew 2 silvers.
So I might just. I mean, you could consider stopping here and just banking a villager. I guess that doesn't make so much sense, does it? Not really.
You could draw on, and I don't think the thing I was thinking of, and I don't think this actually makes a whole lot of sense. If you draw on, you hit 8, you sculpt an estate and buy province, and you know that if you didn't draw a curse, you have that other curse on top, and then if they trash your curse and buy province, then you end up being tied. Although I don't think it's in crabcat's incentive to offer a tie here.
Yeah. Probably
not to mention, LimeTime has the potential to, like, maybe on a very good draw, also like sculpt an estate and buy province.
Yeah, the only reason not to draw on would be their next 7 cards are good, but those 7 cards are not good, so we're definitely drawing on.
Yeah, definitely drawing. I don't think we're provincing, though. That's the part of the thing I was saying that I don't think is actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure even. Dutchy dancing gets a rough for crabcat. Maybe we're just playing the game of who can flinch first.
Something crabcat might be considering here is like sculpting a dungeon for extra reliability or something.
I don't love it, given there's only 4 dungeons left.
Yeah,
well,
I think you're just taking the silver for the villagers. I'm just trying to imagine what it is they're contemplating, and they seem to have liked doing the like sculptor for action mid-turn play in previous turns.
That's a weird order, right? Is there like any reason to play it that order?
I think they. No, I think that has to be wrong. Is there an extra wishing well down there? If they knew there's no action cards coming up, then it's just entirely indifferent. If they knew there was any cantrips coming up, then it's definitely better to hold off on the sculptor.
Yeah, I'm struggling to see why that order would ever be preferable. It's so unfortunate that crabcat top deck 2 curses and gets 0 trashes in.
Yeah, no kidding.
I guess at this point there's only like a couple old witches floating around, so it's a little hard to reliably trash.
LimeTime not even hitting 5 is kind of sad.
That actually makes a pretty big difference in this game.
Yeah.
Because now crabcat has, well, I guess LimeTime can still possibly like double duchy, but crabcat will have the point lead with an even number of both provinces and duchies left.
Yes, if crabcat takes a duchy and LimeTime takes 2,
Wishing for nobles is very strange to me. Like, do you even want to find the nobles? I feel like the nobles on top, you want to leave it there.
Yeah, that seems plausible. Do you take the free silver?
I think assume you do.
Definitely seems like the point in the game where you're trying to find your silvers.
Yeah, and this should just be a duchy. Yeah, it seems fine. So I guess LimeTime. If LimeTime can double duchy, he's probably in good shape. Either this turn or next turn he can double duchy. I don't know how easy that is to do though. It doesn't seem too easy.
So if LimeTime double duchies, they go up to 39. Then crabcat cannot safely take single duchy.
Right.
There is definitely a theoretical draw where crabcat could double duchy, although I'm not sure how likely that is.
All right. Well, this turn actually helps quite a bit, I think, because villagers are really good for LimeTime in the trying to double duchy game. Like this turn right here, LimeTime has an easy double duchy, right?
Wow, that is a phenomenal hand for LimeTime.
Well, it happens to be bottom deck layer good stuff.
It's true.
So given all that, like, what does crabcat even do? I see no possible out for crabcat right now.
Well, crabcat doesn't necessarily know that LimeTime has such a good hand. They might very reasonably take one duchy expecting LimeTime not to be able to double. Like, these decks are not very strong at this point.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that LimeTime or crabcat just single duchies and then loses to double duchy.
It definitely even seems theoretically possible for like LimeTime, despite this hand, to not hit 10, just given the state of their decks with like a bad draw or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think what is likely to happen here is crabcat takes single duchy and then LimeTime wins on double duchy, but it doesn't seem guaranteed.
Yeah.
What happens if LimeTime just like draws with as many cards as they can? Like they play one nobles for action and like draw 9 cards.
Like it's like
it might be guaranteed if you like discard everything.
Yeah, this is like almost guaranteed double duchy with two villagers.
Yeah, I think it might in fact be guaranteed. Like if you can just get to a like 11 card hand with storeroom in it. No, not even that. If you get like an 8 or 9 card hand with storeroom in it and like pitch them all for draw, you'll find at least a silver or 2.
Because it's 3-6. Oh yeah, you're right. It's already 10. It's already like 10.
Yeah.
It's already 10 cards. So yeah, you're already at, without even silver, you're at double duchy.
Yeah.
All right.
Given that, I don't think there was like an alternative for crabcat that worked better. Like province was
also no. There was no outs that would have done anything against what LimeTime was sitting on. Double prov is not impossible. I guess if the top four cards are silver, you got double prov, right?
Yeah, so it looks pretty unlikely. You would have to draw 4 silvers. Or do they have an extra draw in there? No, they've already found all their draw cards at the top.
Why are we thinking? Like, isn't it very obviously like you just double duchy and win?
You gotta contemplate the style points.
Okay,
like you gotta have to see whether you can double province, because like if you can double province, then that's definitely the flashier way to go out.
Maybe. I mean, I guess you can aim for it. There's a very minute chance of getting it.
No, yeah, definitely the correct play. It's just like take the double duchies. Maybe there's like double and triple checking their math.
Yeah, sure, it's fine. A lot on the line. Ooh.
Alrighty, so first game went to LimeTime and his player 2.
So we got Snowy's the only village. Always nice.
Ghost is a village.
Kind of.
I'm not saying it's a good village.
There's no cantrips to hit. It's just gonna hit your actions.
It helps you get more terminal action plays than you otherwise would.
I mean, I think dominate here is not unreasonable as a goal.
Yeah, so how do you get there? I feel like Exorcist looks really good. It's just like the only engine components that are really any good is the stuff that Exorcist gets you.
Snowy's a good card. Don't malign Snowy Village.
I think maybe just like Snowy that plays a bunch of merchant guilds is the easiest way to get to dominate. That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
I mean, Salvager is going to be pretty good at hitting dominate because you can trash provinces.
That's true. Salvager could definitely play a role here.
Yeah, what do you mean buy with Merchant Guild?
I don't know, just
I don't know.
random crap.
like gold and salvagers and just try to dominate. Plus like a little bit, like plus like some imps or wisps or something as well. But I think your economy here looks like gold salvager. But I do like the exorcist open.
Yeah.
I think spirits are going to be pretty good on this board. That's a weird draw for a long time. What do you do with 6? I guess you just take a gold, right? That seems fine. I don't know.
I don't
I'm gonna
know.
guess.
I honestly don't know. Like, yeah, my natural intuition is to be skeptical of buying gold that early, but there's just nothing else that's good either. Yeah.
Yeah. What are we cobbling? I guess we're cobbling stuff for exorcist to trash. Just to get what more imps and stuff. I guess imps are draw. I don't know.
Yeah. This is just such a weak kingdom. Yeah, like I actually do think Ghost is probably worth getting here. It's just like it seems like a reasonably good way to have spiky turns that help you get to 14.
One of the nice things with gold is gold lets you trade more efficiently, and turning coppers into silvers is a pretty nice trade.
Yeah. Although if you end up with a bunch of wisps, maybe that ends up being less of a good trade.
I imagine we just like use the silvers and turn them into imps or something. I guess we can only hold like 2 imps in this deck anyway, though.
Yeah, like wisp is better than imp here, I think. In general, like the first imp or 2 will be good, and then after that, wisp is actually.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're not taking like 3 imps here. 1 imp for sure, maybe 2 imps. 5 here on. I don't know. This merchant guild doesn't seem like it does all that much to me.
None of the cards do much. You can't really criticize any of them because they're all bad.
I feel like gold is an okay card, personally.
In this kingdom, I would agree with that by virtue of lack of alternatives. It really lets Exorcist shine. Like that card, I think, is kind of head and shoulders above pretty much everything else here. I mean, Snowy Village has a place, but beyond that, all these cards are just gross.
I mean, yeah, just slowly building a junky money-ish deck.
Yep.
That maybe dominates. We'll find out if it dominates at some point. I would certainly build as if I was going to dominate, and then possibly just not do it because it never comes together. Mick suggesting Duchy Duke.
I thought about this briefly. What's the third pile? I would worry if I played Duchy Duke that I couldn't end the game before they eventually get some dominate stuff together.
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical of Duchy Duke. Here's a gold. So LimeTime, I assume, buys silver here. What else do you buy? Second Snowy Village doesn't seem super exciting.
Let's see. So Duchy, Duke, and Estate. That's like 24 cards you have to empty.
Oof.
Probably a lot of which are going to be 1 per turn. That's how many points is that though? Like you would have to get off a fair few dominates to beat uncontested Duchy Duke. I still feel like you probably have time to do it though.
I don't think it takes that long. Like dominating's slow, but it'll happen.
Yeah, like I'm thinking dominate wins if you have that long to do it. But you do need to get a number of dominates because like the Dukes are worth 8 each. That's like 64 points if you get them all. It would theoretically be a lot of points to overcome. But I think the dominate thing could do it.
Well, isn't that like it's like 2 dominates, isn't it?
64 points.
Oh, so all the Duchies and Dukes. Well, it takes so long to get that many to do. That's like a billion turns.
That's my point. Is Duchy Duke can't end the game, so even if it's a huge number of points, I think dominate eventually overcomes it.
And you could also just like dominate like twice and then just buy provinces. Might also be fine. There is some thought to Cobbler. I think gaining Exorcist isn't too bad. Trade here is definitely solid. We're taking the estate to Wisp instead of Silver. Yeah, that means seems fine to me too.
Yeah, I can see the rationale to Cobbler. Having multiple Exorcists does not sound bad to me, and you could like kill the Cobbler with Exo later for a ghost.
Yeah, like there's some thought to Cobbler on this board for sure. This could be a trade here. Seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah, trade.
I think we're killing State. Yeah.
Is killing State better than Copper? I don't know. The State is a much nicer Exo target.
This is true. Maybe it's.
Maybe the money is enough. I'm not.
It's unclear. I assume we take. Well, I don't know. Like this could be a 5 cost and kill a Copper. It could also be an Imp.
Who has the second Snowy?
I believe LimeTime has 2 Snowies.
Yeah, my natural intuition here would be to just buy a silver and then turn the other silver into an Imp.
Yeah, I don't really know what LimeTime is doing exactly. Like this Merchant Guild library engine seems a little on the rough end, personally.
Yeah, a little bit.
I like Imp right now for Crabcat.
Yeah.
Could trade 2 coppers and buy like a second Snowy and take an Imp or something. I'm not sure that's any better than. I don't know, what else do you do?
I mean, normally buying 2 5s and getting an Imp would sound great. Although I'm not sure there's 2 5s that you really want. It's so hard to say informative things about this kingdom.
Yeah, nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense in this board. I don't get it. It's just it's all crazy town.
Wow, yeah, imagining this board with Villa would actually be such night and day.
Snowy Villa, good times. Are we trading coppers and getting an Imp? We are. We are trading coppers and getting an Imp.
I'm down with that. Freaky is a masochist.
It is. It's a very non-trivial board to play. That's for sure. So I kind of like any board that's not trivial.
It's like the good stuff deck where you just like click on some assortment of good cards, except instead of good stuff, it's just all bad stuff.
No, it's the mediocre stuff deck. Yeah. It's all just like okay, I guess.
Is there any sense to just like trashing early with Exo into like a Bishop Golden deck? Can you do that before Dominate happens? Probably not.
Bishop Golden deck? I don't know. Golden deck is pretty slow here. Also, I don't really want to be speeding up my opponents going to Dominate, so I think Bishop is probably not very good. Would be my guess.
Everything in this kingdom.
Well, some things are like not very good, and other things are like very not good. Yeah. Bishop might be very not good. I guess if you could get down to like Salvager and 3 golds and a province, you can dominate a Golden deck. I don't think you ever get anywhere near that, but you know
that would be interesting. Let's see, what would you need? You have 8 from the province. You need 7 more. It could be a gold and 2 silvers, or 2 golds and a copper.
Sure. The bigger problem is trashing that many cards.
Yeah. Did I do my math wrong? I think I did do my math wrong, didn't I? Yeah, I added an extra number.
9 and 8 is 17. You don't even need golds. You can do it with silvers, right? I think this board really does want a second Exorcist. Like, given how much they're trashing things into Wisps, I think a second Exorcist would do quite a bit of work.
I agree with that. I mean, Exo, again, just seems like far and away the best card here.
So maybe that early Cobbler was a good idea then, just to exo it up a little harder.
Yeah, I can see that.
And again, we can just trade 2 coppers and exo a silver. I don't know if we want another imp at this point. I guess we do want a second imp.
I think 2 imps is a reasonable number. Maybe even 3, given the like wide assortment of things they seem to have in their decks.
3 gets really iffy for me. Maybe 3.
Like, I think 3 is alright for the same reason 2 Snowy Villages is alright. Is that these decks are just like not reasonably drawing the whole thing every turn anyway.
This Library Merchant Guild thing does not seem like it's going to work very well to me, personally.
What are you doing instead?
I'm just getting treasure and dominating.
Okay.
I mean, I'll play with like a bunch of spirits, like a bunch of imps and wisps. Probably put a salvage in the deck at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like the plan to get a lot of spirits, no matter what you're doing. Some number of coffers actually just does feel good. Like, maybe you don't play with a bunch of merchant guilds like they are, but like, if you're trying to spike 14 and you hit 13 on the key turn, you're really sad. So I wouldn't mind having a merchant guild for that padding.
Gold, silver is totally reasonable right here. Again, they're trying to build, I think, too big on this board.
So that could have been dominate. I guess they still think it's too early, which might be true.
Definitely not dominate for me. I think with 2 merchant guilds in play, you want to be buying cards on this turn.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah. But like, if you don't find a snowy village, your turn is just garbage, right?
Yeah, realistically, ghosts could help a lot there. If you have a number of will-o-wisps in your deck, then ghost becomes a double village, which does a lot.
Yeah, Ghost. I mean, I guess if you're playing with merchant guilds, you probably do want Ghost on this board. I don't. It just seems. I don't know. I guess everything seems a little slow to me. Yes, it is sad on your stop cards for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, Ghost on library is like getting a single smithy play.
Ghost on Snowy is also a little sad. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Ghost and Snow would be terrible in most kingdoms. In this kingdom, it's only like a little bit bad.
Yeah, I feel like as LimeTime, you want a bunch of coffers this turn, right? You could reasonably take coppers here, right?
I would at least think about it for sure. Yeah, 3 merchant guilds, you get like 15 coffers.
Ghost is good in wisps and imps.
Yeah, like it's not bad on the other things. Like getting a free smithy from hitting a library is like actually a pretty good draw in this kingdom. Like you're not happy about it, but like honestly, like compared to whatever else your other opportunities are, like that's pretty good draw.
So that's a 3rd imp for LimeTime. It's a little dicey for me. I'm not sure about 3rd imp. Maybe it's fine. No coppers. Yeah, no coppers are real suspect because like buying a copper for 3 or buying a coffer for like adding a copper to your deck seems. Or 3 coffers for adding a copper to your deck seems pretty good. Especially when you're trying to dominate.
Yeah.
So is this a ghost for Crabcat? I would say yes. I would strongly consider ghost right here. You can rebuy the merchant guild even if you really want to.
Agreed.
And there's definitely a lot of game left for that to pay off.
Yeah. Salvager, I feel like, is going to start to look pretty good pretty soon. I think you'd be pretty fine cannibalizing your deck to just have major influx of money.
Like, this could just be dominate right now, and I think it'd be totally reasonable.
Yeah, that could be fine as well. Ghosting a Salvager would actually be, I think, quite fine. Especially, like, imagine you had, like, Snowy and Library in hand.
Yeah, there are situations where that could be pretty solid. It's like this turn right here. You don't find a Snowy, and you're just okay. That's it.
Is the library play actually better than the merchant guild?
It doesn't seem like it, does it? What is like? I guess it gets you an exorcist because like the rest of your deck is actions, right?
That's a fair argument in its favor.
He had literally no other treasure in his deck. The only card it drew was exorcist. I mean, I guess getting a ghost maybe is worth the library play there. So sure.
I actually just lost a game like that very recently where I was just like, oh, I just need to hit 8. Let me click on the library. It'll draw through my deck and find a treasure. And then I forgot that there were no other treasures in the entire deck.
Like this could be a salvager right now, to be honest. Hey, look, chat reader. But wait, I'm not typing in chat.
Voice chat listener.
Voice chat reader. All right, like this turn's a lot better. It does turn out that drawing Snowy is helpful. Are we just playing library before the imp there? I'm not sure there's any strong motivation to play library before imp there, right?
They didn't play library before imp.
I'm sorry, to play imp before library is what I meant to say.
It causes the library to draw one more because the imp is no longer in your hand.
But you get to play the imp. I guess if you're playing Merchant Guild, your last action.
So you're playing the imp afterwards, which could theoretically draw, but then it's only going to be helpful if you hit Will-O-Wisp.
Yep, that's fine. It's a dominate. Take some. Now we're taking coppers. I think those coppers are pretty good. And I assume we take a wisp. Don't take an imp. No, it's too many imps.
Yeah, I would have taken a wisp there.
That's 4 imps. That's so many imps. Just like, I don't know, gold fine. Is Merchant Guild fine? That's the library aside. Sad times.
I feel like LimeTime now has the lead, given that massive stock of coffers.
Yeah, I think 14 coffers sounds pretty solid here. That was a weird order. Why would we not imp the? Why would not imp the Merchant Guild? I'm a little confused by that. Wait, did we? Oh, sorry, Ghost. No, I can't. I forgot. Listen, all right. Don't. It's fine. Do we think dominate in like 5 coppers here? Is that fine?
Sounds all right to me.
So LimeTime is gonna have a hard time missing dominate.
LimeTime could easily hit double dominate here if they want.
We'll see how many cards we draw this turn. But
there's also so they could easily threaten to quad province with a decent draw. They need to find a few plus buy cards, but the money should be pretty simple to do.
The money's trivial. It's the buys. All right. Well, yeah, I agree with Freaky. I did not think the library Merchant Guild thing was gonna be all that fast, but it's definitely started doing things.
Yeah, quad province is not something I was expecting to be considering in the final turns of this game.
I mean, we're just going to dominate here, and LimeTime can look for a win. A win doesn't even take that much drawing, right, with library?
They need to find 2 more plus buy cards and 2 more money, which sounds reasonable but not guaranteed. Imp first seems good.
I guess not.
It's possible that keeping the imp around is better here. They have a lot of unique action cards they have not yet played, so maybe it's better to draw the imp afterwards and hope to find Merchant Guild.
It's just worse in Merchant Guild, right?
Yeah, definitely keep this Wisp. Maybe not.
You could, if he's just like fishing for 2 Merchant Guilds, you could toss it.
Yeah, it's probably better to toss it now that Snowy Village is in play.
Yeah.
Okay,
right,
so they're not winning this turn, but they're putting themselves in a so close. They're one draw short.
I mean, just double dominate here seems fine. Like, there's no way crabcat's double dominating for a tie, right?
They're also one coin away from double dominate province.
I mean, there's no. Well,
what about triple province? So triple province scores you 18 points, and they can't single dominate. That sounds worse, right? Yeah, they could do. Can you beat that with? You'd have to do like dominate duchy estate, which is pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I think just double dominate and dare crabcat to double dominate back.
But you could consider like double dominate duchy.
That could be fine. Yeah, double dominate duchy is fine, because then crabcat needs to double dominate duchy just to draw a tie. And can't even trash cards with the salvager to do it. Or at least trash like green cards.
Yeah.
Double prop dominate is
actually
sure,
that might be better. Yeah, let's see. So with double dominate duchy, you're scoring 33 points. With double province dominate, you're scoring numbers are hard. 27 points. but then your opponent has to find a lot more plus buy. Yeah, I think I'm coming around that maybe double province dominate is the best line.
I guess we're just buying the state for insurance here. So, what does Crabcat do? You can salvage a merchant guild if you really want to. I assume LimeTime has to dominate plus something else here, right? And you can't trash the province anymore because you need the points.
Yeah, so I would think that you probably kill the merchant guild. It's worth more money, and
well, the nice thing about Merchant Guild is you get coffers for next turn, which sound actually pretty good to have. So I don't think you kill Merchant Guild there. You might as well kill Silver.
Yeah, I guess maybe Crabcat needs to just buy a bunch of coppers here, dominate and buy a bunch of coppers.
I would just dominate in 4 coppers, I think, is what Crabcat has to do, and hope that LimeTime just duds.
Which obviously is very unlikely given 5 coffers. They have to not even find 3 coins.
Yeah, maybe. Oh god, it's so bad. Everything is bad. Yeah. Every line is bad.
I think as Crabcat, you just have to reasonably know you're lost. There's no way your opponent is failing to hit 8.
Triple Duchy has some. There's some thought to Triple Duchy. Or Duchy. I don't know if, not take. You have to take points there, don't you? I don't know. Everything seems losing. Province here is just perfectly fine, right?
I would absolutely Province. Alright, so now Crabcat just goes into Duchy Duke and takes all the Duchies and Dukes. Problem solved.
Sure. Let's see if LimeTime can take that last province before. Look at those coffers and look at no buy. That's a really sad. That's a sad draw when you don't find any buy. All right, this wins, right?
Yeah, most likely. Yes, guaranteed. I didn't notice the Ghosted Merchant Guild. Yeah, that's guaranteed.
Right, that puts the LimeTime up 2-0, I believe, right?
Sounds correct to me.
All right, they're taking a quick break here, so I guess I can too.
All right, I'll be back in 3 to 4 minutes, apparently. Alrighty, I'm back in with a fresh bottle of water. Still waiting on the players. Wonder what their names mean. What's a crabcat? Like half crab, half cat?
Yes, that is exactly what it is. There are only 2 of those creatures currently alive, and this is the second of those.
We can infer there's at least 2 of them, and maybe there's a crabcat 3 out there.
No, there's not. It's a very sad state in the crabcat world. They're very endangered species. Very good at Dominion though. So not many half crab, half cat crustacean felines are good at Dominion.
And there's LimeTime. I can only assume that's their name for greening. Like, all right, I've built enough. Now it's LimeTime.
I'm gonna use that from now on when I'm ready to green. I'm gonna say it's LimeTime. I think with Triumph, it's basically always LimeTime, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of lime to go around on this board.
Triumph looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I guess Displace looks pretty good.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see it this game because I agree Triumph just does look better. But Harem, I actually think pairs really well with Displace. Because like if you're getting golds just for the purpose of Province targets, turning them all into like 2-point golds actually is really nice.
I would assume you play with both Triumph and Provinces on this board because there's pretty good enablers for both of those things, and I don't see why you would need to preference one over the other.
I do want a lot of the fortresses. I feel like you want a deck that can do a lot of things in one turn, and the main limit here seems to be villages.
Yeah, fortresses are quite good.
Haka has made a good point that some of the best gainers here, like Improve and Vampire, don't actually gain things until too late in the turn to count for Triumph points.
Yeah, we got like Bandits and Displaces. Yeah. Kiln is probably not super exciting on this board, I don't think. Vampire looks good. Margrave looks good. Improve looks pretty good with Fortress as well. Yeah, so like Improve and Fortress into like Margraves and or Vampires. You can thin down with Bats. You can put Seaway on Fortress if you want like a billion buys for Triumph, which like might be okay.
Worth considering for sure.
I really don't like opening Fortress, right?
It's a high roll. It's not super likely to pay off, but if you line up to improve in the Fortress, you're really happy that you did.
I don't.
So what are the odds of that? You see your
less than 20%. It's less than 25%. No, it's less than.
It's higher than that, but lower than 50.
It's like 40% or something.
So you have 10 other stop cards in your deck, and well, the stop cards aren't relevant. 11 other cards in your deck, and you see 4 of them. So 4 out of 11. What's that like?
I mean, I was just thinking Improve Silver seemed like a fine open. Well, Crabcat does hit the high roll here. I imagine you want a Margrave right now.
Yeah, I think Improve Silver is the more conservative opening. I don't have a strong opinion which one's better.
Well, how likely is it that Improve Fortress misses 5 compared to Improve Silver?
Definitely higher. Definitely reasonably higher. The one other thing in Improved Fortresses' favor is I do want Fortresses in my deck a lot more than Silver, since I've got a head start on that.
Does Improved Fortress hit double 5 better than double Silver? If that's the case, I guess Improved Fortress sounds like the right opening to me.
I guess my main concern with Improved Fortress would not be the likelihood of hitting double 5. It's the likelihood of hitting not 5 at all, and then just being super behind versus opponent who gets like a Vampire.
Missing 5 on this board is definitely unfortunate. Because I think you want Vampire pretty quick.
Truffles is skeptical of something. I'm not sure what.
Curse to Copper is not a huge deal. Not the worst Locust hit. Envious did nothing. So this is at least a Fortress. Maybe 2. I would assume this is double Fortress for LimeTime. I just want to hit those Fortresses hard. That's weird. I think I would have expected that Improve to turn into a Fortress.
They're probably still looking to get 5s. I'm not sure if that's better or not, but I'm sure that must be the rationale. They do get you here.
Yeah, that sounds good. I assume we're taking it could be a second Vampire, but I kind of want Margrave. That's fine. That's all fine. Okay. This will be again, like I would take 2 Fortresses here as Crabcat, I think. Well, no, I guess he wants to turn Fortress into Margrave or Vampire. No, I don't know. I don't know how things go work.
I would definitely be considering taking an extra Fortress here to win the split. I'm not sure if he's better than the 5.
I think the Fortresses are pretty important here. Like,
yeah.
Crabcat looks like he's about to win the Fortress split, which does, I think, make a big difference. Because I think it's 6 Fortresses now for Crabcat, if I'm counting correctly.
Let's see. Gains a fort. L, C, L, C, L, L, C.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. 5-5 would be playable. There's some thought to Seawaying Fortress, too. Well, I guess you can't Seaway Fortress. You could Seaway Fortress now.
As LimeTime, I think I would strongly consider Seawaying Fortress here.
I have a strong consideration for Seaway Fortress as well. Whoa,
that's a mistake. That's a big mistake.
Whoa.
That's a really big mistake. Undo. Click undo.
free Seaway seems pretty good to me. I don't know.
They're not even using the extra 2 money.
Wow, that seems so bad. Why would you not want a free Seaway on Fortress? Oh no, LimeTime.
Oh my goodness.
Change your name to Seaway Time. Don't laugh at that. Please don't laugh at that. That was not worth a chuckle. Look, sometimes they land. Usually they don't.
Sometimes they land. Sometimes they see way. Sometimes neither, apparently.
All right. All right. I wonder if he's questioning the decision not to take Seaway now, or if he's just thinking.
I have no idea.
They
had a long pause afterward that made me think they were thinking about it.
Yeah, the idea of having an extra 5 buys on this board with Triumph just seems pretty good to me. I don't know. That's just me though.
So I have a question.
Do we have a final? Oh, go ahead.
When you improve into a fortress, it goes into your hand, but you're now at the very end of your turn. What conceivable situations could there be where that is helpful? I'm trying to think of any edge case that makes that useful.
Because it happens after the night phase, right? Because cleanup.
Right. So you can't bat the fortress or anything.
I don't know. Chat, get on that.
Someone's gonna find a reason why that could be helpful. I'm sure it exists. I don't know what it is.
You can't play bat.
Monastery happens before. This is after
those
phase.
Those both happen before you improve. Night phase happens before improve. You improve it into a displace and then innovate it, but you can't do that because the fortress isn't in play anymore. It goes into your hand, so you can't improve it a second time.
And the displace you gained can't have been the first thing you gained this turn because you have necessarily already gained that fortress.
Right. Yep. Keep trying, chat. You're a big swing and a miss right now. I'm very disappointed.
I'm sure it's out there.
I expected more, personally.
So the question is, if you improve into a fortress, you gain that fortress to hand. Is there any reason that could possibly be helpful in any kingdom? Because it's at the very end of your turn, so it's too late to play it or to night phase it or anything like that.
Distant lands seem like the worst way to score here. No, I take that back. Harem seemed like the worst way to score here.
Actually, no, I'm going to defend Harem in that, the displaced Harem thing is actually pretty fine. Barring Triumph, I'd be looking to do that, and you might do that a little bit here anyway.
You know what? I take it back. You're right.
Buying estates, worst way to score here.
Attack doesn't work because you had already gained. You had to have gained something with. Oh, if you're saying if you gained the tactician from the fortress trash and you immediately innovate it to discard the fortress. Got one.
All right. Okay. Nice.
Wins.
Nice.
That is one hell of an edge case, but we got there in the end.
Oh, maybe the displaced thing did work. Maybe I mistakenly ruled that out because that could.
You don't gain the fortress to hand.
Because I was thinking I think maybe the displaced one actually works after all. I'm sorry to whomever I shot down on that one.
Oh, you're saying if you want to innovate. Okay, I see what you're saying. I guess that works too.
For some reason, I was thinking the fortress was gained, but it's the fortress it could have already been gained in a prior turn, and so it could very well be the first gain as your displace.
Let's talk about this board here.
Wait. No, I'm right on this one, which is if you innovate into a fortress with I think the original wording of the question. There's no way that one can matter. I'm confusing myself. Displace was right. Forget the last sequence of sentences I said.
All right, we're gonna pretend all of that made sense and we solved some great issue that was plaguing humanity.
Yes, that was very important.
I guess are distant lands actually good here? Am I misevaluating them?
I still think they're not super significant.
They don't seem that great to me, but maybe they're fine.
Yeah, Mick correctly pointed out that the question as I worded it did not make sense. Yeah, I think
Yes.
Triumph looks better. Harem and Province look better. If the goal is to like keep a relatively steady deck, like displacing Harems into Provinces isn't going to cause your deck to like spiral out of control or anything.
Well, LimeTime sure has a lot of distant lands now. We don't have actions to play all this stuff, but you know, you have it.
I
mean,
seriously consider just like no. I was gonna say just like killing the improves off into nothing, but I guess it's still pretty good to turn fortresses into 5s, like distant lands and stuff.
Yeah, is crabcat just going to take 2 distant lands here?
Yeah,
Top deck 2 coppers. That's a bit of a rough one.
I guess
pretty bad.
Oh, good.
It's pretty bad omens. I'm gonna say it's a pretty bad omens.
Yeah, I guess this can be a pretty good reason why the game goes into distant lands is just that like you naturally end up with this surplus improve and then other 5s that maybe you don't want as much, since you might as well get distant lands if they're coming for free.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, let's see. So you can play 6 terminals in this deck. I'm assuming they each have 3 Margraves and that the split is not 4 to 2. So at least 3 more terminals. It could be like improve distant lands and something else. It could be like 3 displaces. It could be like a 4th Margrave and 2 displaces.
Mm-hmm. Duchies sure seem questionable to me. Is the game that close to ending? That we want duchies?
So improves always make pileouts look a little scary, but I'm still not quite seeing it.
I mean, I guess the distant lands pile's low. Crab. Well, I guess LimeTime has. There's like a lot of bats gone. Are there 3 bats gone? All right, we're going duchies. Okay, that's not where I thought this game was going to go, but here we are nonetheless. So, like, do we just take like 3 duchies here as crabcat?
Yeah, so the motivation could be like distant lands is too low, I don't want to touch the pile. It might also just be I don't have time to get those distant lands on the mat. Duchies score more immediately.
I guess. Get displace Harem to Province right here as crabcat. I don't think you. I mean, you can displace duchy into something.
Harem.
Sure, Harem's fine. Let's see if we hit no more actions here. So I assume we're going pretty clearly going Harem to Province here, I believe, right?
It's not obvious to me. I'd think about it. No, I mean...
It's pretty obvious to me.
You probably do want to play the bat. Because getting a vampire in the next shuffle is nice. So, I mean, you could do like duchy into something and then buy a province, but that would stop you from playing the bat. So Harem into province. I mean, it does score you 6 points. Yeah.
6 points seems like a lot at that stage of the game. I think he has. I think that's all his Margraves. Yes, I think he has 3 Margraves, unless I'm miscounting.
So let's see by comparison. This line got them 2 harems, which is 4 points instead of 6, but it allowed them to have 2 harems in their deck and 1 fewer duchy in their deck, and 1 fewer province in their deck. That actually might be better. A 2 VP loss to have 2 silvers instead of 2 green cards in your deck.
There's some thought to that.
There may be other relevant differences that I'm missing, but I think that's the comparison there.
Yeah. All right. Well,
LimeTime
does hit 3 distant lands down. That's quite a good turn. LimeTime has literally no economy. I'm pretty tempted by like. Actually, I don't know what I'm talking about here. It all seems like, what are you doing? Are you buying coppers because you have to get like treasure in your deck?
I think both of the lines we were considering got the vampire back.
Bandit's a fine card for LimeTime right now, for sure. LimeTime has literally no economy. It's just like a vampire-based deck.
I would think my intuition would be displace. Maybe there's something to be said for Bandit, but like displace is also a terminal thing that ramps up economy very fast.
What's LimeTime's last card? Is it improve?
I do not know, but that's a good guess.
If it's improve, he might be able to buy like Triumph this turn.
There's only 2 improves in the trash, so there's 3 out there. I doubt Crabcat has 3 improves in their deck.
Yeah, it seems reasonable.
Oh, maybe they're considering like a Triumph play here. Oh no, they can't be. No, they can't because they've already played their Vampire. We're past that phase. They're just considering what to gain.
I mean, like distant lands is fine. There's no way Crabcat's taking that many cards this turn. I guess at this point,
I think it's
displace is definitely fine.
Me. Like with a good draw here, I'm not sure they have the draw for this, but like you get like displace duchy into displace, then displace another duchy into harem, and then you're threatening province the following turn.
Something yeah, like that's true. Yeah, you have the trouble space for it, so that's fine. It wasn't proof. All right, does find a Margrave, which is fortunate because missing Margrave there would have been quite sad. Ooh, that's a rough discard. You discard yours LimeTime. I guess you discard Margrave.
I keep 2 Margraves and a fortress. You've got only got one more Margrave in your deck, but a bunch more fortresses.
Yeah, I keep 2 Margraves. Or seems right to me. Yeah. All right, so we get displaced stuff here if we want.
Is Crabcat, and maybe it's LimeTime as well, but less urgently. Like a 4th Margrave seems good. You could support 4 Margraves and 2 terminal action cards at the end of that.
I agree. A little more draw would definitely be pretty solid in these decks. This could be displaced duchy instead of harem. There's some thought to that.
Yeah, so if you displace the duchy, you hit 5. If you displace the harem, you hit 3. 5 kind of seems importantly better than 3 here, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hit 5 and not 3. So I'm pretty tempted to displace duchy over displace harem here. And again, the points are good.
It'd be so much nicer here if the fortresses were Seawade. You'd be threatening to do some like big Triumph plays in the very end game.
Yeah. You could get some pretty... Well, you could even do like... Because if like LimeTime has 5 extra buys, you can just do like a curse pile out, right? You buy 8 curses in the Triumph.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And then just like play 2 vampires for the distant lands or something.
Let's see, with 5 fortresses and 3 Margraves, you're looking at 9 buys.
Yeah, I mean, you could have more Margraves in there too. It doesn't have to have just a 3.
That is true.
But certainly the ability to threaten a giant Triumph seems pretty good at this stage of the game.
Yeah, like a reasonable threat could seem to be like buy 8 curses, buy Triumph, and then gain like 2 distant lands off of your Improve and Vampire or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Triumphing?
Seeing it?
We're doing Triumph. I mean, you know.
That was not the most inspiring Triumph.
Oh, no! War!
Casualties of war.
Oh, man. Well, greed is pretty good, though. So there's that. So LimeTime can definitely not win. LimeTime could definitely win off this if these fortresses were Seawade, I think.
Yeah, Haka makes the point that you could have double triumphed there with a different displaced target. It does make sense, I think, if you're going to triumph to try to do multiple in the same turn, so those coppers are scoring you more.
All right, so let's look for wins here. I doubt there's a win here. I guess you displace Duchy. I don't have the actions for it, right? No, the last card's a fortress, right? So you could displace Duchy to distant lands if you wanted to.
Let's see.
You can
Duchy is definitely a pile that you're certainly taking.
So you can gain like how many points can you gain here? You can gain 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe 12.
I don't know where these numbers are coming from, so I'm just going to trust that they're accurate.
All right, what I'm thinking is displace duchy to a distant lands, draw with Margrave, play the fortress to let you play distant lands and improve. So there's 4 points. And then you can improve a fortress into a duchy. You can vampire for a distant land. You can vampire for an estate. And you can gain like a bunch of coppers and a triumph, which gets you... Those two don't give you points. That gives you 1 point. That doesn't give you points. So it's 1 point plus 5.
Is he considering displacing the Margrave or something? I don't understand.
So it's 5 plus 4 is 9 plus 3 is 12. I'm counting like 12 points or 13 points maybe. Last card is Fortress. Are you counting 37 VP?
Oh, I see.
I counted like 36 VP. I might have miscounted by 1. He can't double triumph, right? He doesn't have the economy to do it.
Okay, let's see. Well, you could like displace Duchy for Harem, but then you can't empty piles, can you?
You can actually, because you can gain improve gains.
Oh yeah, maybe you can. Okay.
The problem is you lose 4 VP if you do it that way because you're not getting to play the distant lands this turn.
Oh, you're wanting to draw back and play the distant lands. I see. No, that's got to be with more VP, right? Like it's 4 versus 2, but then you're buying a second triumph. That's gonna be huge, right?
Maybe. I guess you could displace Duchy to displace.
So.
And then displace like a bat to something, like an estate or something, or even displace.
Let me count up the one that I was considering. So Duchy into Harem is 2 points right there. Then you draw all that. You have 5 money, and you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 buys. So you can buy 2 more things, and then you buy 2 estates. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you get like a 4 VP triumph, a 5 VP triumph. That's enough points. Yeah, that surely wins, right? Maybe they found another one that wins.
This doesn't empty. Oh yes, it does. Never mind. I was thinking this is empty piles, but it does.
Yeah.
Okay, and then that gets you just enough. Oh, miserable helps too.
Yeah, so they found another line. This works out fine.
It won even without. Well, didn't it win without miserable? Like, didn't you have the opportunity to take an estate instead of?
They hit 39, so it looks like miserable did not make the difference.
Yeah. All right. Well. 3-0 for LimeTime. That was a nice spot at the end there. Turns out Triumph is good. Who knew? So LimeTime goes second this game, right? So a tie is as good as a win?
Yes. So what do we have going on here? Draw, Destrier, Wayfarer, Oracle, Festival.
Is this the Pirate Captain board?
So you've got no way to trash. And like you could draw with like Destriers, Wayfarers, and Festivals.
What?
But you could also
just for your opponent.
Oh yeah. They could play cooperatively and just like trash each other's coppers with the pirate ship. I'm not sure. The question is like, how much are you really trying to maintain deck control? I think I would still try to build here, even though like it'd be very easy to just like throw in some Wayfarers and let your deck get full of silvers and play.
Nah, this seems like a pretty clear build board with Captain. Like Captain with Oracle is going to be easy to draw your deck. Like you don't need to. And plus, you have like Leprechaun stuff you can do. There's like a lot of.
Can you mid-turn gain things effectively? Because I like the idea of Captain playing Destrier, but that requires 2 mid-turn gains.
Captain is Leprechaun. There's 2 mid-turn games right there.
Oh yeah, wishes look real nice. Turning that into a captain.
Yeah. Like I think you definitely build here. You're playing with captains. Like I want basically all the captains on this board, I guess.
Osbond has identified the real tension here, which is you really want pirate ship, but every pirate ship you buy is passing up on baths. Real unfortunate there.
Yeah.
The classic dilemma. So how did they open? Crabcat took Nomad Camp, and then Embargo Wayfarer. That's curious.
Embargo. Interesting. I mean, embargoing captain changes the complexion of this board significantly.
Yes.
If captain gets embargo, do you even play captains? You might still play them. It just gets grosser.
I could see it as like embargoing captain and then trying to play more money-ish, because that really hurts the not captain thing. Yeah, I think I've convinced myself that you probably do want to build pretty big here. Like with a bunch of festivals and wayfarers, I feel like you could empty the destriers pretty fast.
Oh, for sure. There's a lot of draw on this board, and there's a lot of potential with like leprechaun stuff.
Shakalaki has a good point, which is I guess unlike embargoing captain, wayfarer and even destrier could potentially be circumvented with ball.
I'm not sure how many natural wayfarers you actually want here. I guess a couple is fine. I feel like they've avoided silver too much. You need silver to hit 6 on this board, or hit 5 reliably. All right, there we go. Crabcat finally has a turn.
So LimeTime taking 2 bath points over buying anything for 4. I think that's plausible.
Fine. The 4s are pretty bad. Mostly it's just you hit 6, you buy captain. That's really all I really think about right now. Hit 6, buy captain. Captain seems pretty good. You can start of turn Oracle. I guess ball for wayfarer, destrier. That has some merit too.
It's not the strongest captain kingdom, that's for sure.
But I mean, I think just the reliability of starting your turn playing Oracle, or like multiple Oracles, seems really significant to me. It can play Leprechaun when you need it to, as opposed to actually buying Leprechaun and hoping you draw it at the right time. I don't know. It seems pretty good to have captains on this board to me.
They're like $6 wharfs that don't have plus buy, but do come with a little attack.
I mean, you probably don't want... I guess you don't want like all the captains because you have terminal space issues, but... I mean, they can also be played non-terminally. They can play non-terminally as destriers, right? If you play Leprechaun meaningfully before the captain, you can play it as destrier.
Well, I guess playing with captain does make it more likely we end up in a game 7, so that's an argument in its favor.
I mean, captain draws better than Wayfarer, right?
Yes. I mean, it's like Wharf versus Smithy.
It's Wharf without the buy, which, is still actually a pretty good card, turns out.
Wharf really needed that buy, otherwise, I mean, it wouldn't be very competitive with Merchant Ship.
Mm-hmm, it's true. I guess we play Oracle here as Crabcat. And do we keep those coppers? Does that get us anywhere?
I'm gonna guess you pitch them, but I'm not sure.
I assume you just leave those there. LimeTime doesn't want to draw treasures, so...
Well, that's a pretty good draw.
Captain Destrier is an option right now. Festival Ball for 2 Destriers is actually probably better. Yeah, I like that better.
I like this better.
I think I wanted the festival in there. You could not take... How do you take 4 Destriers?
You take 3 Destriers and a Wayfarer. Is what they... Oh, I see. Shakalaki.
No, Shakalaki's suggesting 4 Destrier, but you can't do that.
Yeah, I think
Unless
Soccer's
you
is fine, but Chocolaki's doesn't work.
Yeah, like it was cost 5. You can't get the first Destrier. He did take silver, right?
They've taken
I'm
one
very
silver.
confused.
Yeah, I don't think there's a room to take a second silver.
Where would he take a second silver? He only played one Wayfarer, right? What is Chocolaki talking about?
You just take the second silver when your opponent's not looking.
I don't think you can just like take a second silver for free.
Oh, I see. They're saying play the Wayfarer instead of the Oracle. I'm following.
Instead of the
now.
Oracle.
Okay, I get where you're coming from.
Do you actually want that many silver in this deck, though? It's not clear to me I actually want that many silver in this deck.
Yeah, if you're adding a silver but also adding a Destrier, you've kind of just added yourself a Conspirator, which is not bad, but is not as nice as having like a full Destrier in there.
I like what he did. I think the Festival triple Destrier seemed pretty... Or double Destrier? What did we took?
Festival double Destrier.
Had a double Destrier. I think that was fine. I would just probably take Festival here.
Like, Festival seems pretty good here. Both Wayfarer and Captain are pretty reasonable draw, but they require a very limited source of actions.
I don't believe there's any 3-0 comebacks. That seems pretty hard to do.
I'm going to speculate that at least one of these has occurred. Like, we've seen, a few hundred matches now happen, so just like...
I would imagine 3-0 comeback is less than like 1% chance. Given like the disparity in player level.
That's fair.
It becomes probably more likely as players become more evenly skilled. Although then again, I guess if the better player falls behind 3-0, there's a chance of the comeback in that. So maybe it's not. I don't know. Someone can do like someone can simulate that. Not me. See, look at this. Look at this Star Return Oracle doing some serious work.
1 in 64, assuming equal chances of winning.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, like if we assume equal chances of winning, then I think then you have a reasonable chance that it's happened already, given how many games have been played. I'm willing to bet that it's in actuality less than that because of skill disparities, but I'm not sure how much less than that.
This is 4 Destriers, right? Just ball for 2 more Destriers and take a Destrier.
I like that.
That's a lot of Destries. That seems pretty good to have all the Destries.
The Destriest.
Yes. All right, I'm going to say LimeTime looks pretty much won at this point.
That doesn't bode well for Crabcat's chances of winning this match.
No, or the whole championship. Like, like the prize pot there. Losing this match would be a blow to that.
Agreed. It would be pretty difficult to come back from having lost in the round of 64.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? If anyone can do it, it's probably freaky. I want more festivals, I guess. Another captain would be fine too at this point. How many? I don't know what the festival count is for LimeTime. I have not been paying that good attention. Nomad Camp seems really bad. I don't. Oh, so they play as Nomad Camp. Yeah, so that seems good.
It looks like the count for festivals prior to that was 3 all, and so now LimeTime has 5 of the festivals.
Yeah, this is looking pretty much lost for Crabcat.
Yeah.
I have a hard time imagining you can come back from this far down, unless LimeTime makes some serious blunders.
Yeah, they're gonna win the festival split. Looks like.
Soccer's Fun does point out that Crabcat is winning the bath split currently, which is usually a bad sign.
Yeah. The key to Dominion is not taking regular baths.
Yeah. Bathing is a surefire way to lose. I mean, I assume you toss this as crabcat.
Yeah,
LimeTime
so
just find a
this just
festival
looks
here.
sad.
Toss that. Toss it. Keep
Toss it
it.
all.
It's weird to me not to play Destriers just like right away. I guess there's some thought. No, he has no captain, so there's no thought to like Leprechaun. I don't see any. I
Yeah,
guess it doesn't. I guess it doesn't matter either way, right?
I theoretically, I guess, if you really needed to contemplate whether you wanted the extra silver, it'd be better to do that later in the turn with more information.
Right.
But yeah, Destrier just seems like the sort of thing you would just automatically click first here, I would think.
That is a drawn deck. Look at that.
Yeah, drawing all the things.
It's not. Is that a win?
Good question.
You can
They
ball.
have enough buys for it, but I don't think I have enough money, right?
Well, he's a score also. Well, I mean, the thing is, you can buy Wayfarers really cheap. The problem is comes with curses.
They could catch up on Bath's points here if they wanted to, right? I don't think they took any silvers.
It's true. You could pass the turn and take those Bath points.
That would neutralize crabcat's main advantage.
Estate triple ball duchy. That doesn't empty piles though, right? You need to buy a festival also. I mean, I would assume we're taking like the festival and some provinces. I'm not really concerned about crabcat draining piles with their deck.
Yeah, festival and double province seems reasonably good to me.
Yeah, I like festival double province. That seems fine. Yes, now is the time for the Captain Pirate Ship.
No, I know what time it is right now, and right now it is LimeTime.
It is LimeTime. I mean, I can't imagine not just taking like the festival at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else might they be considering? I mean, what if you just like balled for all the estates and said you can't? Now they reasonably could outscore that. That's not even close to enough points to like defend against a good draw from crabcat. I don't know what they're thinking about exactly.
Actually, can we? How many estates can he take? Oh, we can't take. Oh, sorry. There's a third pile though.
Yeah, I mean they could like take all the estates and be like, I'll win next turn, but that's not enough of a points buffer to really.
No, that seems way too sketchy. So yep, LimeTime does enact LimeTime.
Yeah, I think that was the best play.
And I assume crabcat has to also follow in the provinces.
Yes.
There's not much more building you can do with crabcat, especially with like very limited terminal space.
Yeah, do you take an embargo over nothing? They've only got the 4 festivals, so my inclination is no.
I would think no. Like, what's even good to embargo?
I mean, it's like a terminal silver is better for your deck than nothing. I think the answer is you're too terminal.
How about that? LimeTime duds. I suppose you play Oracle here. I would just play the Oracle and hope to find like a copper or silver and buy Duchy. Is probably fine.
Baths might be better than Duchy.
Oh yeah, it is Bath's time.
All right.
Look at that.
Now LimeTime has a chance. They've caught up in Bath's points. I was very worried beforehand.
I think catching up in Bath's points means that crabcat's back in it, right?
All right, yeah, inversely correlated. This looks like a province.
Big mistake there. Ooh, that's rough for crabcat.
So, I mean, they're tied in points, but I think this differential in deck quality should start mattering pretty soon.
Yeah. So it should be province now, I'd assume.
Yeah.
Like Captain's Wayfarer. It just involves Leprechaun first. Right, because you gain the wish second, right? You gain gold first and wish?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Golden Greed does it too. Or Locust hitting the right thing. Really a lot of options. All All right. Well, that's a little sad to see 5 festivals and no other draw cards. But I guess Captain in Play makes it all worthwhile. This should just be province. Are we taking free estate?
Probably. I mean, like, if you see the other 22 cards in your deck, you've got 16 money in there before you're going to get back around to that estate.
This is true. Yeah, I imagine we're just taking the province estate here.
I mean, it's possible double Duchy might be safer. Can Crabcat's deck do double province?
I'm skeptical that it can. With, I mean, I guess it's technically possible, so maybe double Duchy just to be extra super safe.
Yeah, I think double Duchy is probably the, like, very safe move that is just, like, ever so marginally better on the off chance Crabcat had, like, a phenomenal turn.
It's not even clear to me there's, like, any real difference between the two. I assume Crabcat has to province here. I can't imagine Crabcat coming back against a province.
Yeah, province and prey.
It's really not great with Captain in Play, though. It makes it really a long time to miss province.
Yeah, I think we're about to see the end of this match this turn.
Yeah, so possibly you take Duchy there and hope you get like 2 bad turns in a row from LimeTime. I don't know. It all seems losing.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
Do we have a? Do we have a?
Please, dud.
Are we taking those bath points?
I don't want to see a 4-0. You could play the Wayfarer first and then decide whether you want bath points. Oh my goodness!
That's gonna be a Duchy.
Is that enough? That still could be enough that Crabcat might not be able to beat it.
Went first here.
Crab this out. Is that enough? I think that's not enough, right? That's
2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 11. You're 1 coin short of winning from that. You need 12 to win, right? 12 and 3 buys.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Oof, that's.
I don't think you're very likely to find more than that if you pitch it either.
Well, you can't find better than that, right? That's basically impossible.
You could draw another festival and like a draw card or something, or like
I think you just take that and double Duchy, right? Ooh, toss that. All right. Well, this is what, 8.
Yeah.
So we're taking like Duchy. We're taking just taking Duchy estate, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure praying for the miracle draw there was worse than praying your opponent has another miracle dud. We're getting into like very low probability territory either way here.
Yeah. All right. This looks like a win, right? Man, that's a win.
Yeah.
That's sad. It was 1 coin off.
Yeah.
Oh well. Looks like LimeTime gets the clean sweep. 4-0.
Indeed. All right, and advances to the round of 32. Who are they playing?
Congratulations, LimeTime. It's true that those last bath points cost Crabcat the game.
The winner of this, so LimeTime, will go on to play either Mercury 444F or DG Hunter 79. Good luck in that match. Good commentating with you.
And as you. That's not English. You as well.
See y'all around.